Hey guys, welcome to Wine 101, where we talk about wines that are fairly inexpensive and we think are really worth buying and really worth drinking. What do we got today, Steve? What are we looking at?
Well, I think what I really like to look at today is these are some of my go-to wines. It's a region in Portugal called the Douro, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. If you're Portuguese, forgive me. But it's the valley where port from all the port grapes are grown in that particular valley, and they've probably been doing this for a long time, but fairly recently they've been producing still red wines from a lot of these same grapes that they make port. And I just find them wines with just a lot of integrity, especially for the price. And they're mostly indigenous grapes in Portugal. So you're not going to generally get like your Shiraz and your Cabernet Sauvignon, and it's something a bit different, you know.
Well, what I find what's interesting about these wines, quite often what we're going to try to do in this show is we're going to compare a bottle that's $9 or $10. This is in Canada, guys. We're in BC, Canada. If you're down in the States, it's going to be substantially cheaper. But we're going to try to look at a wine that's $9 or $10 and another one that's maybe 13, 14, and wines where Steve can show us where $3 or $4 are really, we're getting into a much better wine. But in Portugal, in this type of wine, you were telling me that
Well, yeah.
it's really hard to find that. So we have these two wines here. I think one was 10, one's 11. So I
Yeah.
guess should we have a taste, and you can
Oh,
tell me about some of the flavors
absolutely.
that I can. I'll tell.
Would you like to have a taste also?
I have a little taste.
Oh well.
Which one do you? Oh, yeah. Sure, that's fine. Yes, absolutely.
Well, we
Carry
could
on.
do that. We could do a tasting like
Carry on.
sample like.
So I'm tasting the Vila Regia.
Yes, and these are basically just a collection. It's a blend of indigenous grapes from that region.
It's very nice. So tell me about some of the flavors I'm tasting there.
You would do that, wouldn't you?
What I like about the Portuguese wines that Steve's been introducing me to. Steve is our neighborhood expert, and I'm a $10 wine guy. I have been for years, and I sort of had my go-to wines, and Steve's really expanded my horizons. And one of the things he's really opened me up to are these Portuguese wines in this price range. They've got some really interesting flavors. They challenge your palate a little bit. A lot of body, a lot of flavor.
Yeah, yeah. There's a real sort of integrity with these wines. Like they're not kind of sweetened up and sent out the door. You know, like they're just like real wines. I don't know how to describe it.
Yes. No, it's really opened my eyes up a lot in the last couple of years. So yeah.
This is it's a very smooth, very drinkable wine. I'm not the I'm not one of those super tasters that picks out the traces of. I mean, I get sort of you know, I get wine, I get cherry, like there is a cherry hit in it, but I'm not. I just know that it tastes quite good.
This show's all about enjoying wine and having fun and not taking it too seriously. Yeah, here you go, Steve. Here's another glass.
Great. So this wine here, now here's where the pronunciation is really going to get touchy, because I refer to this in my house as Porca de Murca, which I'm sure is not how it's pronounced. It's probably Porca de Murca or something like that. This is from the Douro region also. It's a whole dollar more. And what I was quite surprised of when I decanted it as it's a darker, slightly fuller. The aroma, I could actually smell what I felt like slightly sharper. I felt it had more alcohol in it. I didn't look at it until later. And it does have a slightly bit more alcohol, but it's not something that I can periodically do, sniff wine and tell what the alcohol content is. And I noticed when I decanted it, it was a darker color. And when I sipped it, which I will do now again, just to remind me, it's slightly fuller. The mouthfeel is a bit fuller. It's
So-
almost a bit smoother. Like in that fullness, it kind of becomes more of a little bit more of a silkiness.
So you feel like it's one of those cases where in this case, it's only $1 more, and you're getting quite a bit more for your.
I'm getting a bit more
Yeah.
on it. Like, I mean, this is one of my daily,
Yeah.
you know,
Go
not
to.
necessarily breakfast, but you know, daily wines is something that, you know, and you can always take it out if you're, you know, to dinner at somebody's house and nobody says, oh, you brought that cheap crap again. You know, like, oh, that's very nice, you know. But I think I'm actually leaning more towards this one now. Like, geez, I might drop the extra $1, you know, now and again
Yeah.
to
All right.
get this one.
Yeah. So I thought I would try this, the Porca de Murca myself, when it's a bit more money, to see if it's something that I might spend an extra $1 on. There's definitely more flavor there.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
This would go really nicely with some, like a simple pork roast or
Yeah.
something, you know, not too, you don't have to go for the heavy beef, you know.
Yeah.
But it would also go nice with like a beef stew, something that has a bit more complex flavors.
Well, that's great. That's great stuff. Great stuff, Steve. So we'll be, I'm sure we're going to be visiting Portugal again because there's a lot of really interesting wines there, Steve. So that's great.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, I can taste more flavor there for sure. So this is where we do the credit roll.
Okay.
And we look at each other because this will be an expansive credit roll. I mean, you know, there's makeup and
Okay.
wardrobe
We didn't
and
do the other wines either.